All right, let's look at this example from chapter 10. To chapter 10, you're comparing two samples or two populations. So this is two population proportions. All right, so the difference between two population proportions. And question 1. Is the proportion of wildfires caused by humans in the south different from the proportion of wildfires caused by humans in the west? So then they give us the statistics for the south and the west. And we want to make a conclusion at the 0.01 level of significance. All right, so for this study, we should use z-test for difference in proportions. All right. The null and alternate hypothesis. So the null is that the proportions are the same, right? So you have P1 equals P2. It's good to keep in mind which 1 and 2 is. So this is in the south, this is P1, and in the north, this is P2. Right? If you mix them up, then you might draw wrong conclusions. The alternate is that P1 is different than P2. Alright, because we just want to see if they're different or not. Okay? Alright, so we do the calculations. So with StatCrunch, you're going to go to Stat, Proportion Stats, with two samples with summary. Alright, so we got to put in the information here. Let's see if I can see both things at the same time. Oops, that didn't work. Okay, so 424. So 424 out of 580 in the south, and 448 out of 566 in the north. Okay, we want hypothesis test for the difference of the two proportions. So notice in StatCrunch, it's not given as P1 equals P2, rather than it's given as P1 minus P2 equals 0, which means the same thing. And then the alternate is P1 minus P2 is not equal to 0. Right? So that's all we need to put in there. Then we're going to hit compute, which I know it's off screen, but hit the blue button. All right, and we're given the z-stat and the p-value. So the z-stat is negative 2.4. So z equals negative 2.400. And the p-value is 0.0164. 0.0164. Okay. So at this significance level, the p-value is bigger than the alpha, so we fail to reject the null. Right, so notice, this one is pretty close, 0.016. It's kind of pretty close to rejection. If you were given a significance level that was higher, like the 0.05, then you would reject. So it's often dependent on how confident you want to be. So this is a high confidence, 99% confidence. So if you want to be 99% confidence, you're going to fail to reject, right? So let's see. So because you're failing to reject, the results are not, or are statistically insignificant, right? So because there is insufficient evidence. So that's what you're looking for. So results are statistically insignificant at this significance level. So there's an insufficient evidence to conclude that the proportion is in the south is different than in the west. All right. So that's it.